What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and that is going back, looking at old photos of mine and kind of reacting, kind of talking about where my photography started. This is back to before I got a DSLR, my first DSLR, or my first use of a DSLR, and then even my first DSLR. So gonna have a trip down memory lane, go over some of my old photos. I haven't looked at these photos in a long time, so it's gonna be really interesting for me to see how far I've come. And let's get into the video. Loading up the photos now. You'll see them on screen. I've got them on my computer, and here's the first one. So this is a family holiday that I went on. This was Venice 2008. So I would be, that was 12 years ago, so I would be 13 at the time. Back then, I had a digital camera. That was the only camera I got. Got it as a Christmas present, I think, one year. So I picked this one out. Like, I'd been through and I'd quickly scanned through all my old photos and grabbed different ones. I thought this photo was quite cool because it kind of shows that I had this sort of like idea of what makes a good photo. Like, I've got the subject. It's the guy at the bottom in the gondola, the row like going across. Pretty much center. Sunrise, I think, at this point. I'm not sure if it was sunrise or sunset, but cool lighting. You've got like down the canal and it curves off. Like, interesting shot. I just think I'm framed badly. Like, the thought process was there, what would make a good photo, but I've just not captured it well. And I think this is probably, obviously, young kid, don't know, but like, it's cool that I can, like, looking back now, I can kind of see that I had the right thought process, but maybe not quite the right equipment or knowledge of what composition, I guess, and frame a photo and stuff. But anyway, on to the next one. This is Mexico 2012, so this was 8 years ago. I would be 17. Yeah, I think I just turned 17. This was another family holiday. My uncle was actually living and working in Mexico City, so we went and stayed. One of my probably all-time favorite holidays. Wish I could go back now, especially with my photography now. I'd love to go back to Mexico and get photos and stuff. I picked out a few from this holiday, so this is one of the first ones I found. I have no idea what this is. I guess this is the urban photographer in me. This is sort of, I guess, where my creativity was showing, even through my photography then, because I saw this building, these like hexagon shaped tiles, and it looks really cool, and it's got quite good lighting. I've obviously picked that rather well, so I'm kind of surprised with this photo. This looked kind of cool. There's just kind of zero context of what it is, very abstract in my opinion, which I feel like is every photographer's starting point. It's like angled shot, weird textures and things that you find to take photos of. There's not really much to go off on it, but I think it's kind of cool shot. This is Mexico again. Not sure where this is. I think I can't remember. Probably, if I was to take a guess, we visited a lot of Aztec pyramids. A lot of them were up high on top of hills, across, like, and you could see out over the landscape. So my guess is an Aztec pyramid. Don't know where though. I mean, this is a cool landscape shot. I just don't think I've taken it very well. I've obviously not framed it very well. It seems like there's a really cool landscape there, and the lighting with broken clouds probably made for some interesting photo there. But again, this is still on a digital camera, so limited with my equipment. But I think the thought process was there. I don't really do landscape shots much at the moment. I'm very much more focused on like product and urban. There's definitely something that I obviously saw that this would make a cool photo. I just couldn't capture the moment. Another landscape one. Mexico again. I think this is the last Mexico picture. This, I think, is a really cool shot. 17-year-old me was like, ooh, clouds rolling off the hills. This looks sick. And it does. But again, it's like just not that experience or knowledge with photography to like capture this in a really compelling way. But overall, I think quite a good shot. Obviously, if I was to take this now, the composition would be better, have a better camera, so I'd probably be able to do a bit of an edit on it and make it look even better and bring it out. But I think in the moment, like, you can see what I was trying to capture. I think with what I knew back then, I think I did a good job. But it's cool to see how far I've come, definitely. This is funny, because I feel like every photographer has this shot. This is my first DSLR shot. So before I actually bought a DSLR, I wasn't 100% sold on, or sure if I would. I found photography interesting. I'd always had a camera. I think I had a GoPro by this point, but I wasn't 100% sure I wanted to invest in a camera for myself with my own money. So I borrowed my sister's. So this is my sister's camera. If I remember correctly, this would have been a Canon 1000D. So I borrowed her camera, and I feel like this is like every photographer, early photographer's first shot, like black and white, something really close up, proper moody. So this is a piano we have downstairs still. Yeah, shot of the piano, black and white, lighting from the window. I mean, kind of a cool shot, and very artistic and very moody and experimental, shall we say. You could obviously see that there was something there that photography, like I could grasp what I was trying to capture. Another black and white photo. This is of my bedroom window in this room. On quite a well lit day. I think I've captured that quite well. Ignore the bed at the bottom. What's funny is my bed is in the same place still. It's moved around a couple of times, but it's back there now. But yeah, this is my window as it is now. Off topic. But yeah, I think this is a really cool photo. I actually really like this still. I think I captured this really creatively. I think with a crop, you would get this more lined up where I should be. But I think actually overall with the lighting and it being black and white, like it works really well. And I actually kind of like this still. And this was 2016. So yeah, this was 2016 when I was playing around with this DSLR. So this is what, 4 years ago? I was 21. But yeah, I actually I would probably take this shot again now. Like I think this is probably one of the few shots that I took back then that really holds up. Shows I had potential. I think this is still on my sister's DSLR. Yeah. So this was a trip with my friends to Newcastle. I thought this was kind of a cool shot. That I was able to get this on a DSLR, probably with the kit lens, like that through the windscreen, well exposed on the outside, and fairly well exposed for them on the inside. And to get, that was one of my old mates, Matt, his face in the mirror. I think that's a really good shot. For someone who had no experience with a DSLR back then, this most likely was done, I imagine, on auto. I don't know if I was using manual settings by this point, probably not. But overall, I think kind of a cool shot. The creative side of my brain was there, just my technical side for photography wasn't. And this is when I got my DSLR. So I bought a Canon 100D. The camera that this is, I was going to go grab it then, but it's what this has been recorded on. This will probably have been with the kit lens way over edited. I don't know if I edited this in Photoshop or if I did do it in Lightroom. I feel like this is way too saturated, and that's definitely on the editing. But kind of a cool photo, just a bit plain. It could be composed a bit better. And then the edit, I mean, I've come miles from this edit. This is when I didn't really understand how to edit raw photos. I was just kind of playing around with things and seeing what happened. This was my first time in Manchester with my camera. This was probably one of my first urban photos. I actually really like this shot still. I'd probably edit it slightly different now, but I don't think I have the raw files anymore, unfortunately. It would have been nice to be able to re-edit these, but it is what it is. I think this is a really cool photo. I actually really like this. Just the edit. I think I've come a long way on my editing skills in Lightroom. But yeah, super cool photo. Next, this is the Olympic Parade 2016 in Manchester. So I do and don't like this photo. I hate that I didn't straighten it. I don't know why I didn't straighten it. Everything being slightly angled is bothering me. I think it's edited okay. Nothing special about the edit. You can tell I was very much focused on the Team GB flag, and even I think tried to blur more of the photo to draw focus to it. Or have I just got the focus? I might have just grabbed the focus at the right place. I think it's a cool photo, achieves what I was probably trying to get, which was like the focus on the flag. Again, I think it's the editing. This is where like DSLR was still very new to me, and I'm still trying to learn editing and Lightroom. And I think I didn't go crazy with edits, but definitely not my style that I've kind of built up to now. But a cool photo, it could be better. I mean, you can see it on the screen right now on the video. Welcome to every photographer's bokeh, however you want to say it. I feel like everyone does this. It's definitely an early thing that I don't really do anymore. Super out of focus on a bunch of lights. I actually hate it now. I think this looks horrible. I guess you got to go through that stage to get past it, but yeah, I think the super bokeh, super bokeh photos, bokeh, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, super strong bokeh is just, I don't like it anymore. I think it looks tacky. It just looks like I got a really bad out of focus photo. I think it'd look good if it was like way in the background and there was a photo, like something going on in the photo, but just this looks, yeah, horrible. But we move on from these things, don't we? Next photo, and I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. This was December 2016. Kind of a cool photo. I think it's a really cool photo. I think this was me and my dad, if I remember correctly. This is me and my dad drove up to Glasgow and we did that. And this was the drive. It was a super wet day, but it was like super wet. Then the sun came out. So I got this really cool photo, and I think a great photo. Managed to somehow get the car, like some of it in focus in a moving car, and with rain on the windscreen. I think the problem I have with this photo is I'd like it cropped and the edit's a bit too much for me. I think the edit's not terrible, but it's very blue, very exaggerated. I feel I'm just not a fan. And I think this was the point where like, I feel like photographers kind of go through this, like there's different stages where you experiment with new things that you think, oh, this looks cool, and you go on a bit of a wave, and then you kind of, your taste and your experience catches up to what you were trying to do, and you're like, and you learn how to improve. And I think at this point it's like camera techniques was starting to learn how to use the camera more, but my editing was behind. And I was like trying different things on every set of photos. It was different, and I think a bit too much over editing, like not knowing when to stop. Yeah, this has been interesting. Some crazy photos, some potential photos back then. Like if I could go back and with what I know now, I probably would capture a great photo in that same moment. But obviously just lack of knowledge or lack of equipment or just not understanding editing, stuff like that, like means I didn't get what I consider now a good photo. But back then, like you can see, definitely looking back, I can see that I had that potential and the creativity, at least the creative side of me was showing through. Whether or not I executed on that properly, who knows, but I thought this was fun. And if you want me to do this more, I have plenty more photos. I could even react to my favourite photos, terrible photos. I bet I can find some really bad ones that I took. But I'm thinking of doing more of these sort of react videos. I've got a few other ideas to do and stuff. But if you have enjoyed this video, smash that like button down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you're not already. I appreciate you all, I really do. And I will catch you in the next video. Oh my god, some of my photos, terrible, absolutely terrible photos. Like, what is this? Horrible. Like, what am I thinking? It's like angled. What am I thinking? Who knows? Anyway, I guess some of them were good.